Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Unscripted and Unchained RPG Review. I am Game Master Bloodworth, and as you can see by the graphics, today's video I am doing a first look at Gamma World 3rd Edition box set. So I actually got this box set close to 2 years ago, or maybe even a little over 2 years ago. And I did a whole video of the box opening and everything. And then it went on my shelf back there, and it essentially sat. It sat there for, the greater part of 2 years without me actually going back and looking at the game system itself. So just the other day on my Discord, I put out that I'm looking to start up a game session any weekday, from 9 a.m. to 12 noon Eastern time. And I said, if you're interested, just put out there and tell me what day is great for you, and give me like a kind of like a prioritized list, like the top 3 games that you would like to have me run. And one of the first people that came in actually came out and said, "How about Gamma World 2nd Edition?" So I was like, "All right, let me double check and see which edition I actually have." And lo and behold, I have 3rd edition, so I'm guessing that that won't be too much of a problem. And then it reminded me that I was like, you know what? I've never actually done a first look and gone over this. So in light of that, like I'm still not sure if I'm going to be running this, but I'm certainly open to. And so if you are interested in me running this for you, you just join my Discord. There's at least one other player looking to do that, and I believe, if I recall, he said that his brother might actually look to join as well. So I may already have 2 players already lined up for this, and it'll be a lot of fun because I have not played this game since the mid 1980s. This particular edition came out in '86. I'm fairly certain what we played was most likely 2nd edition. So, but I got this box set, and I'm going to roll with that. So, without further ado, I am just going to break down each of the segments of this, and I'm going to do something a little bit different here because it kind of ties into some of the conversations I've been having with a number of people over these last couple of days. And I'm going to actually go into just like the introduction of the game itself and spend a little time with that, which is something I usually skip over. But the rule set for this and how to play the game is kind of different for in comparison to a lot of other games. So that's why I want to spend a little bit of time with it. So let's get right into it. I'm just going to jump to full screen real quick so you can see that I have a complete box set. I mean, this was a complete box set, and it even came with its original dice, which, I mean, these are absolutely original dice here. So hard to read, and and unused. So that was another impressive thing with this. And I had double checked back at my video from 2 years ago, and I paid $48 for this complete box set. So and it is a totally complete box set. So happy with that as well. So I grabbed the PDF offline so I can just walk you through this first part of it. And here we go. Let's see. So obviously TSR, and here we have the rule book, and this is written by James Ward. All right, so he is the original designer. He is absolutely a very, very legendary and prolific writer of game systems for TSR. So he is certainly like one of those people that had been called upon to do many different many different genres of role playing games while he was with TSR. And he also did many of the supplements for Advanced Dungeons and Dragons as well. You also have Harold Johnson here. You have David James Ritchie, um, Gary Jacquette. I'm guessing I'm saying the name right. If not, I apologize. The art is Easley Elmore, Keith Parkinson, and David Martin, David Edward Martin. Cartography is David C. Sutherland the third. Again, another big name. The typography is Betty Elmore and Carolyn Vanderbilt. So now, if you're not aware, James M. Ward is still very active in a number of Facebook groups and including his own. And I believe he does have currently a GoFundMe because he has some health issues and everything. So I will certainly attach a link for that at the end of this video, in the description of this video, if you are inclined to go and help support the man that has given so many of us just such great memories and phenomenal game systems. Let me continue now to the game itself. So here we have the introduction, and if you're not familiar with Gamma World is a sci-fi role-playing system, and it takes place in like a post-apocalyptic United States in the 25th century. This wasteland is home to a myriad of strange, barbaric races of creatures that have learned to survive the deadly environment through mutation and change. This game provides the rules for countless hours of new and wondrous adventures in this bizarre land. A single game adventure may last from 1 to 4 hours. You may also play a series of linked adventures, advancing your heroes to legendary ranks over an extended period of time. It is up to you. Your first Gamma World adventure has been included with this set so that you may learn as you play. And I will spend some time going over that as well. So the setting, I'm not going to read all of this here, but it is basically a post-apocalyptic setting, again, in the United States. And we will go to playing the game. This is a role-playing game, and like I said, I don't normally do this, but I wanted to hit home with these ideas that James Ward expresses, because I think they're really important. This is a role-playing game, a game of imagination and make-believe, where each player decides the actions of individual characters as if acting in a play or a movie. A role-playing game requires one player to play the role of game master, the creator and teller of the story, and the arbitrator of the game's events. The GM creates the goals and obstacles of an adventure and plays the part of all of the creatures encountered throughout the story. It is a tough job, but one that is very rewarding, for only the GM knows what is really happening and what obstacles lie before the heroes. Usually, from 2 to 5 players adopt the roles of individual heroes with amazing powers and devices. Only through the players' decisions and actions can the heroes defeat their foes and reach their goals. Nor are any of these roles mundane, for heroes may be true humans with the command of the wonders of high technology, or mighty mutants, or intelligent animals, or powerful plans, each possessing unique powers. The rewards of success for the players are many: recovering lost wonders, solving the mysteries of the story, and overcoming fearsome foes. But the greatest reward is the growth of one's character as he becomes more powerful and improves or gains abilities as a result of reaching these goals. The heroes created and controlled by these players are called player characters, or PCs for short. The creatures played by the game master are called non-player characters, or NPCs. Rules for creating adventures and running NPCs are explained in latter sections of this book. The next section shows how to create your own hero, your player character. All right, now what I really wanted to focus on here is that it's very clearly defined roles that the game master plays and the players play, and that I think is important. It's something that every once in a while comes up, where some people will argue that there's that role playing is simply acting, and others will argue that the game master is just a player at the table, like another player at the table, and so on. So there's these back and forth conversations sometimes about what exactly are these roles, and it's pretty much laid out here, and it's been the same since then. So it's one of those cyclic conversations that happens, every 3 to 4 months or so, that it just keeps on coming up. The next section I wanted to focus on is winning, all right, with a question mark. The real goal of the Gamma World game is to have fun. There are no winners or losers, but all delight in the grand adventure and a story brought to a successful conclusion. True, heroes may survive and grow in rank and power, but even if a character dies, a player has not lost. He has contributed to the telling of a story, and he can create another hero who will try to succeed where the first one failed. The story and the adventure go on. The GM succeeds if his players had fun during the adventure, regardless of whether they completed the mission. It is the GM's job to challenge players and reward their efforts, not just their accomplishments. All right. So again, it's an experience that you're trying to achieve here, and not necessarily a goal where it's there, where there's only win conditions. There needs to be the challenge of setbacks and even character death. And here, James Ward talks directly to that and say that your character, even if your character dies, has still in some way advanced the story that is being told at the table, and that is very, very important. And the player is going to be rewarded for their efforts of running their character, in that the player is learning how the game system works. The player is learning how the other players at the table, and including the game master, how they kind of face these challenges that are going along. And so the player is going to grow in knowledge with the system, and so it will provide that player with some tools, some experience, where they might not make the same kind of mistakes that they did with their previous character who ended up dying. So you're not just rewarding the accomplishments of the of the players. You're rewarding their efforts as well. You're rewarding their ability to learn from their decision making and going forward. So what you need to play is the next section. I'm not going to spend too much time with that. Just that this system here only uses D6s and D10s. And some of the dice mechanics in that is really, really interesting. And I want to spend a little time with that as well. So, going through how many can play, any number of people can play Gamma World, but it is usually most fun with 2 to 5 players and a game master. All right, so now many of these games you can play with a game master and one player, and a lot of these, I'm sure that there are emulators out there. You can even play this solo, but I agree with them here is that, the best is probably 2 to 5 players. If you are only going to run it for one player, then it makes a lot of sense for that one player character to be fairly powerful. Maybe not starting out at first level, but having several levels under his or her belt. And then that way you can generate the whole story around that one character and perhaps attach that character to a couple of support NPCs to help them along the way as well. So learning to play. The best way to learn how to play the game is by playing it. This rule book has been organized to make the learning very quick and fun and easy to follow. The fastest way to learn is to follow these steps. And then he goes through the number of steps. I'm not going to spend too much time with that. How to use the dice. So this is where it comes really, interesting. So included in this game box are 2 types of dice, 6 and 10-sided dice. These are used to generate a variety of results and effects for the Gamma World game. For easy reading, these dice are marked with numbers instead of dots. The numbers are may be colored in using a crayon provided. My box set did not come with a crayon, but it's awful funny that that's how they used to put these things out here. You really did have to use a crayon or something to fill in the numbers so you could actually read them. So the numbers may be colored in by crayon. Just rub the crayon across the number and, the wax will be caught in the cracks. All right. The 0 on the 10-sided die is read as a 10. Throughout these rules, the dice are referred to using abbreviations D, short for dice, for example, and so 5d6 is 5 6-sided dice, and so on. What I really wanted to get you to is where they talk about some of these specialty rolls. So the 2 10-sided dice may be rolled to get a number between 1 and 100. Pick one die to be the ones place and one die to be the tens. Then roll both dice and read the number. A 5 and a 9 is a 59. A 0 and a 1 is a 1. And a 0 and a 0 is 100. I know that, believe it or not, this actually comes up from time to time, and it's kind of strange that people don't know how to read the difference between a 00 as 100. There is no 0 on the 1 to 100, so it shouldn't really be that confusing. The third method is to roll a die and divide the result by the number, always rounding the total to the next highest number. In this way, it's possible to generate numbers from 1 to 4, for instance, by rolling a D100 and dividing by 25. This method is rarely used. The final method is to roll a 6-sided and a 10-sided dice at the same time to get higher ranges than those possible with the dice provided. This method is used to generate from 1 to 12 and 1 to 20. To roll a number from 1 to 12, a d12, roll a 10 and a 6-sided die. Read the number on the 6-sided die. If the number on the 10-sided die is a 1 to 5, then the result on the 6-sided die is 1 to 6 as noted. If the 10-sided die is between a 6 and a 10, add 6 to the result of the 6-sided die, and the number would be from 7 to 12. In order to roll a 1 to 20, roll a 10-sided die and a 6-sided die. But this time, read the number on the 10-sided die and only add plus 10 if the 6-sided die comes up 4 to 6, giving the result an 11 to 20. So, I mean, it's really strange to me that this system is being used for rolling the dice when in 1986 there were D20s and there were, even D100s, there were D12s and D8s and so on. So it really is surprising that this kind of a system was used for determining those off die sets. But I believe that they're probably, because it's been ages since I've played this, I believe that they're probably not often rolled for the purposes of this game. So if you needed to do a D20 roll, again, it sounds more complicated than it is. But when you roll a D10 and a D6, if you roll a 4, 5, or 6 on the D6, then the D10 roll is going to have a plus 10 attached to it. And so that's how you get the 11 through 20. All right. How to use these rule books, I am not going to go into that as well. I mean, there's basically, and I will show you the books actually. I'm going to switch views here so that you can see. So here is the core rule book. And the core rule book is just 64 pages long. On the back, there is an action table. All right, and here on the inside back cover is the character sheet. And I am going to go step by step through these rules so that you can see it. Now, there are several screens that come with this as well. So we have one Game Master screen here, and you can see right here is the act table as well. So this could be facing the players, and so they can see it as well. And then on the inside there are weapons charts and armor tables and combat modifiers and such. Even random events that you can generate based off of this. Here is another chart. This is probably for the players to have in front of them. And again, here is the chart, and here it has weapons and armor tables and defenses and detailed modifiers and such. So it's just another very similar here. There is the Gamma World reference book, and this here is just the various creatures that are going to be found in the game. So this is the Game Master's reference book here. Here is a rules supplement. So I am assuming that this is going to expand some of the rules, or so clarifications and additions. So it's kind of like an errata that came along with it, but with some additional rules as well. And then finally, the adventure book. So this is that first adventure that it mentioned, and then the rest of the materials are maps and such. So I am going to pick up the next video with going over character creation. So again, I'm really excited. I'm going to switch views again. Again, I'm really excited to actually start taking a look at Gamma World Third Edition. It's still a fairly large community that still plays this game. This game has been it has gone through 7 editions, I believe. So there may very well be a modern interpretation of this game that is out there. So, but if you're looking to play the earlier editions, I welcome you to come to my channel and either talk about them or just follow along as I start going through third edition. If there's anything in third edition that is dramatically different from second or first edition, or that they improve upon in let's say fourth edition, please feel free to jump in the comments section and talk about that as well. And as I said, if you are interested in playing in a game session, at least, or at least that entry level adventure that is in here, I am planning on running a game session, if not more than one, during the week. This is going to be in the mornings from 9 to noon Eastern time. And if you join my Discord channel, then you will also see that there's other games that I'm running as well, and you're always welcome to join those as well. So there's going to be a link for my Discord channel in the description of every video that I put up, and then I am also going to link the GoFundMe page for for James Ward, and I encourage you to at least take a look at it, and if you can spare anything, please feel free to do so to help the man out, because like I said, I mean, he is a legendary game designer, primarily a contributor to some of the best things that TSR Games had put out back in the late 70s and throughout the 80s. And, and like I said, very, very active still in a number of communities on Facebook primarily. So definitely, take a look at some of the things that he's still working on. And, he's been chronicling kind of like the day in the life of James M. Ward, going back to the day sometimes, so bringing up these old stories and then just talking about where he's at right now as well. So, please feel free to look forward to looking at those things, and make sure that you like and subscribe and comment and just follow along. I will be posting more videos over the next couple of weeks, taking you through the whole process of the character creation, and then the game mechanics, and then the world setting in more detail. Have a great afternoon and take care.